Hi, this is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to look at the expansion for Euphoria. Euphoria, Ignorance is Bliss. This is published by Stonemaier Games. It's a 1 to 6 player game. Let's go ahead down to the table. I'm going to show you what comes with this expansion and what it changes in the game, and then we'll come back and I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, so this is what you're going to get with the expansion Euphoria, Ignorance is Bliss. You're going to get a rule book for new Autonoma. You're going to get a whole bunch of Autonoma cards, so you can play this single player. You're going to get, go back here, you're going to get new, really nice chunky commodity tokens, which I really like these a lot. And you're going to get 6 new player boards for each player, so they can keep track of everything on here instead of having to worry about the main board itself, which I really like. So that's cool, and these things that I just went over can be used with the base game and put in without much problem. The Autonoma though will need to have these, so but you can use these player mats and you can use these new commodities in the regular game. Beyond that, you're going to get a new deck of workers, so you're going to get a giant new deck of workers. You're also going to get a new deck of tiles, so the different things you can build throughout the game. And I love the wording on these. They're a lot of fun. Like Dilemma's Prison, Lottery of Diminishing Returns, Together We Work Alone Camp. You know, just really cool names and stuff, and I like these a lot. Now, these you're going to use either the ones from the base game, or you're going to use these. You're not going to mix and match them. If you use these, you also get a really cool new board here for, it goes this way, for the antiquities market. And what this does is for all the different like artifacts that you have, you're going to place them out on here. And instead of having to draw from the top of the deck, which you won't going to do anymore when you need to pick up one of these artifacts, you're going to draw from here. The first one's free, this one's going to cost a good, this one costs a good, this one costs 2 goods, or commodities, I mean. And that will help you get what you need for some of these places. So instead of like having to worry about it being completely random, you can use some strategy and getting the different antiques that you need to accomplish what you need to do in the game. The workers here are going to be all really neat. And you can notice they have that little symbol on the bottom here, but I wanted to show you, I separated these out so I could find it easily, and I think they're at the end here. There's going to be factionless factionless workers. They're not part of any faction here, but they give you, factionless workers. They're not part of any faction, but they give you better abilities. So these factionless workers in the game are really cool. When you shuffle up and you hand out 4 for them to pick 2, you can pick one of the factionless workers. This is basically the only time that you can do it. If you draw one otherwise, you're going to discard it and draw a different one. These factionless workers, like I said, give really cool, super powerful abilities throughout the game, but they're not part of any faction, so you have that detriment where they're not helping you out on the board. So if you draw a hand of more factionless workers, you're allowed to discard down till you only have 1 in your starting selection of 4 and draw. So these are powerful, but there's a lot of incentive to still use these factions. And a really cool rule change that they added in this expansion that I like a lot is one where you have that where multiple people start with the same like goal for faction wise. So they're going to collectively work towards getting that faction set up. But so the ones that don't have like any shared factions have a detriment in the game. Well, what this does is if you are in the minority faction, so you don't have like a shared faction with someone else, then you're going to get 2 goods or 2 commodities to start out the game, which is really nice. So that is in general what you're going to get with the game itself. The other cool thing that comes with it, let's see if I can show it on the camera properly here, and realizing I'm not like the greatest with stickers, but it comes with these stickers that you're going to put on these different mining tracks, and these clearly show where your miner would start out for the different player counts. So if you're playing 2-player, it'd start here, 3-player, 4-player, 5 to 6-player here. So it's nice and clearly marked, and they go on each of the tunnels. So it comes with those stickers to improve the board. It comes, if you got the Kickstarter edition, which I do not, and it has that reverse side board, it comes with 3 extra stickers for that side of the board too. So in a nutshell, that's basically what you're going to be getting with the Euphoria Ignorance is Bliss expansion. It's just basically a new game mode that you can play for the game, because like I said, these can't be mixed in with the base game at all. They're just standalone. And another thing to mention is these actually fit well in the insert that comes with the base game, if you got it with the one with the insert. So that's really nice too. There was enough slots for the sleeve that all the cards fit in. There was enough places for these tiles to go in. Just great. So all expansion fits in the base game box, so you can I'll keep it in one nice, neat box. So let's go ahead back up to the table here, and I will give you my final thoughts on Euphoria. Ignorance is Bliss. I like this expansion a lot. This expansion does a little differently than most expansions. This one is basically giving you a different mode for the game. The components that you have in this expansion, you're only going to use by themselves. You're not going to use, well, the cards and the tiles. You will replace the cards and the tiles in the main game. You can use those player boards either way, which is really cool. I like the player boards a lot. I like having those. That's really cool. And I like the different feel that this expansion gives to the game. It really is sort of like, if you love playing Euphoria, this is like another mode where you can get more into the strategy and gives a lot of replayability to the game. So this is going to be more like, if you love Euphoria, you should definitely get this expansion sort of thing. One other like rule change that I really like in the game is that minority rule for if you have when you select the workers, if you don't have a factionless worker and you don't have the majority for matching the different factions, so you have the minority faction, then you will gain 2 extra resources, which I think is really nice, because there is a huge advantage in having a shared faction with other players. I like the factionless workers. They changed the game a good bit. They're an interesting choice. I like the rules for you can only have one factionless worker, and that would be the one at the start of the game. I like that a lot. They do give a lot of power to the game, or they can give you a lot of power during the game, but they do have the detriment of not being part of a faction. So I think they're pretty well balanced. I like the large goods too now in this one. There's 24 large commodity goods. Those are really cool. Overall, great expansion. So like I said, if you have Euphoria, and you like Euphoria, you're going to probably want to pick up this expansion. If you don't like Euphoria, this isn't going to change your mind. This is just more good Euphoria. So like I said, if you like Euphoria, you probably want to think about picking up this expansion to give yourself that additional mode and that additional experience in the game. So that's my thoughts on Euphoria Ignorance is Bliss. Thank you for watching.